Hi, I'm Claire Harris from Coyote Mountain Film Productions in Norco, California. It is my pleasure to take you along on our adventures around the world. Please follow our adventures, like, and share our videos. Riverside, California, sits nestled in the Inland Empire, a landscape of citrus groves, sun-drenched hills. At the very heart of this city stands an architectural fantasy, a sprawling, enchanting structure known as the Mission Inn. This isn't just a building made of bricks and mortar. Oh no, it's a storybook come to life, a place woven from dreams and dedication. If you give me just a few minutes, I'll tell you a story that will change how you see this corner of the world. The story starts small, like most good things do. It begins with a simple boarding house in the 1870s. A man named Christopher Columbus Miller built a little adobe structure. It was modest, just a place for folks passing through to rest their heads. Riverside was a young town then, blossoming with the sweet scent of orange groves. The air was full of promise. Mr. Miller's little guest house, known as the Glenwood Tavern, was a quiet part of that promise, offering a warm bed and a simple meal to travelers. It was a sturdy, reliable place in a growing town. But a small boarding house isn't what you see today. The grand transformation began with Christopher's son, Frank Augustus Miller. Frank was a man with a big heart and an even bigger imagination. He took over the family business around the turn of the century. He didn't just want to run a hotel, he wanted to create a landmark. Walking through the Mission Inn is like stepping into another world. It's a wonderful, beautiful puzzle of a place. Frank Miller didn't stick to just one style. Oh my, no. He mixed them all together in a way that just works. Mission Revival arches, Spanish colonial domes, Moorish Revival tile work, Gothic elements in the chapel, a hint of Asian design in a hidden courtyard. It sounds like it might be a jumble, but somehow it all sings in harmony. It's a style all its own, a feast for the eyes at every turn. The inside is just as breathtaking. Each room and hallway holds a new discovery. Section 3. Decline, Silence, and a City's Resolve. After Frank Miller passed away in 1935, the inn began a slow, sad decline. His family tried to keep his grand vision alive, but the world was changing. The Great Depression had taken its toll. World War II shifted the country's focus. The kind of grand, leisurely travel that the inn was built for became less common. The hotel passed through different owners, each one with less passion and fewer resources. The vibrant colors started to fade. The once gleaming wood grew dull. The labyrinthine halls, once filled with laughter and music, started to feel a little bit empty and quiet. Today, when you walk into the Mission Inn, you can feel that love in every corner. The restoration didn't just save the building, it brought its spirit back to life. The hotel reopened its doors in 1992, and it was glorious. The bells rang out from the towers once again. The fountains danced in the sunlight. The golden altarpiece in the Spanish art gallery gleamed as if it were brand new. It was no longer a beautiful, dusty relic. It was a living, breathing part of the city again, welcoming guests with open arms and warm hospitality. To simply call it a hotel is to miss the point entirely. This is more than a place to sleep. It is a living landmark, a repository of history, a testament to one man's eclectic and ambitious vision. The inn began modestly in 1876 as a small adobe boarding house, the Glenwood Cottage run by Christopher Columbus Miller. But it was his son, Frank Augustus Miller, who saw something far grander in its future. Frank Miller was a master promoter, a world traveler with an insatiable appetite for art history and grand ideas. Starting in 1902, he began a decades-long expansion project that would transform his family's humble inn into the labyrinthine masterpiece we see today. He wasn't just building a hotel, he was crafting an experience. He wanted to create a place that would not only welcome presidents' celebrities, but would also serve as a cultural centerpiece for his beloved Riverside. The Mission Inn's architecture is a delightful and bewildering feast for the eyes. It defies easy categorization, blending styles with a joyful and almost reckless abandon. Frank Miller was not a man constrained by architectural purity. He was a collector of styles, just as he was a collector of art. The dominant theme is mission revival. Bell towers, wide eaves, graceful arches that evoke California's Spanish colonial missions. But that's just the beginning of the journey. As you wander through its corridors and courtyards, you'll find yourself transported from one world to another in the space of a few steps. Look closely, and you'll see a symphony of influences. There are soaring Gothic arches and delicate stained glass windows that would feel at home in a European cathedral. You'll stumble upon tranquil Japanese gardens and courtyards adorned with Moorish tiles and fountains. One moment you're in the Spanish art gallery with its gilded altar, the next you're climbing the Carmel Tower, a rotunda that offers panoramic views of the city. Miller added new wings and sections over 30 years, each reflecting his latest travels and passions. This organic, almost chaotic growth is precisely what makes the inn so utterly charming and unique. Every corner of the inn tells a story through its details. While the Mission Inn is a world-renowned destination, its truest identity is found in its role as the living room of Riverside. For generations, it has been the backdrop for the community's most cherished moments. Prom photos under the arches, weddings in St. Francis Chapel, families at Sunday brunch. The inn is woven into personal histories, a silent witness to everyday milestones. These shared memories create a powerful emotional bond. The inn's most spectacular tradition is the annual Festival of Lights. The day after Thanksgiving, a switch is flipped. The hotel erupts in millions of twinkling lights. The event draws hundreds of thousands to downtown Riverside. Streets close to traffic. Carolers fill the air. Chestnut vendors roast on corners. Crowds look up in collective awe. Beyond celebrations, the inn is a vital economic engine. It provides jobs, chefs in its kitchens, docents leading tours. These are careers built on local pride. The inn fuels surrounding businesses. Diners fill nearby restaurants. Shoppers browse local shops. Guests stay in other area hotels. To walk through the Mission Inn is to wander through one of California's most eclectic art collections. Frank Miller was a voracious collector who filled every nook and cranny with treasures from around the world. The inn is less a curated museum and more a cabinet of curiosities. Priceless artifacts sit alongside charmingly quirky finds. Ancient Buddhist statues, centuries-old European paintings, a massive collection of bells, including the oldest datable Christian bell. This collection isn't just for dusty academics, it's for everyone. The collection tells a global story. Miller sought craftsmanship and historical significance. The Spanish Art Gallery, a Renaissance-style gold-leafed altar filling an entire wall, originally made for a family chapel in Guanajuato, Mexico. Carved wooden doors from China, delicate tapestries from Europe, a vast assortment of crosses from many cultures and eras. Miller's vision: bring the world to guests who might never travel. Let them taste diverse beauty and history right here in Riverside. The inn supports living culture beyond its antiques. In the end, the deep affection Riverside holds for the Mission Inn comes from something more profound than its stunning architecture or its rich history. The inn is a symbol of identity and a source of collective pride. When people from Riverside travel and mention where they're from, the response is often, "Oh, the home of the Mission Inn." It gives the city a landmark recognized and admired far beyond its borders. Magnificent, quirky, utterly unique, a reflection of the city's own character, ambitious, a little eccentric, deeply rooted in its Californian heritage. It's a landmark that feels personal to everyone who lives here. The inn embodies a sense of belonging. It is a constant in a rapidly changing world, a physical touchstone that connects generations. But as a welcoming home for the generations yet to come,